Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay, your family psychologist, and I am inviting you to join me for the next 30 minutes to talk about balancing marriage and parenting. This is the second part of our discussion. The other day, we talk about some aspects of this life among couples and parents, and then today we're going to continue with that discussion. So please do join me. Get your coffee, get your tea, get whatever will keep you company as we talk, as we discuss. And I hope that you can join me for the next 30 minutes or so. So I would like to ask you, those who are here, how are you today? How are you, friends? How have you been? How are you balancing? If you will be grading yourself, if you are a teacher and you will be grading yourself, how would you grade your capability to balance between marriage and parenting? If we have a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and then 1 is the lowest, what would you grade yourself? In the scale of 1 to 10, how good are you in balancing marriage and parenting? Nasaan kayo dito? Okay? It's good that we are here. It's good that we are interacting, and I would like you
Good afternoon, friends.
would like you to check how are you with your own balancing style, because we would try to check how we are, and we will try to see how can we be better. Some of you may be doing it well. Some of you maybe wow, Maria Cynthia 8.5, Melanie 8, galing. Yeah, I would say the same for me. It's not perfect. It's not perfect actually, but well, we can work on it because there will always be ways to work on something, diba? So ngayon, if we will refer to our discussion the other day, friends na nandito na at very active in our discussion. Hi, Jessie. 8.5, 8, 8. Yeah, very good. You're all good at that. But I would like to ask you, what's your big takeaway in our discussion the other day? So we started off our discussion on Tuesday, and we talk about balance the areas of marriage and parenting, the stress points, yung mga stressors or the concerns that always happen among couples, among families, and then now we have checked the source. Where is this coming from? What is our traditional programming regarding this matter? So that's the source, and then the third one, it's the stages or the season in our parenting life. So, with all these three aspects that we've talked about, what are your insights about it? What is your takeaway or what struck you in our conversation the other day? So please put that in the comment section as I continue at itutuloy ko yung discussion natin because I've captured some of the issues or some of the questions that was posted in the comment section of the previous episode. So what uh I would really get some issues that I saw, but I would like first to go into the details of my topic, which is how do we balance marriage and parenting. So I will just give you some practical and I guess doable tips. Kasi everything needs to be doable. It's something that we need to do, we need to work on, and we need to continue working on. Okay, so join me as in this discussion. Solution. So we put solution. Sometimes we can just say na wag na lang kasi lalaki rin naman yung mga bata eh. Lalaki rin yung mga bata. I mean, kailangan ko pa. Meron akong mga nakita at narinig yan sa mga forums, sa mga discussion groups that lalaki rin ng mga bata. Kailangan pa ba ng asawa? Ay, ang daming issue ng tatay. Of course, if you would imagine, our husbands, our partners, our wives, they come from a different tree. Magkaiba tayo ng kinalakihan, magkaiba tayo, hindi tayo ang nagpalaki. So I really don't believe na pinapalaki mo yung asawa mo or siya yung bunso sa pamilya. I am not a subscriber of that because I choose not to take on that role, being the mother of your husband. Even though they act like their kids, you're still not the mother. We are wives. And we have to first reframe our mindset about marriage and parenting. And that's the first step. Reframe your mindset about marriage and parenting. Ano yung tingin mo sa marriage mo? Ano yung tingin mo sa parenting? Ano yung tingin natin sa asawa natin? And that is critical. And if you would see, a lot of what, di ba, there's a saying that says, what we focus on grows. What we focus on, they're magnified. What we focus on, kung ano yung tinitingnan natin, kaya tayo naiinis minsan. Kasi yun yung lagi natin natitingnan. We're very sensitive to those matters. So, we have to check where we are. We have to check our mindset. We have to check our values, and we have to check how do we perceive things. We have to check. We have to check ano ba yung tingin ko as a couple. So there's a question that was posted in. There's a comment that was posted in the previous section. It was said, family date na lang. When we say family date na lang, it means that we are not opting for a couple date. But I would like to reframe again that our roles as spouses is different from our role as parents. Ang asawa, you both nurture each other so that you can both nurture your kids. You just don't, and you are partners. You are partners, but you are not burdened, supposed to be, ideally, by your partner, your husband. Chessy, you said, true. Di ko type yung thinking na bunso panganay mo yung husband mo. Hello, hello talaga. Hindi kasi yan mag-work. Because if we keep thinking that if our mindset is that panganay ko yan, bunso ko yan, we act as if we are their moms, their mothers. We act as if na siya yung bunso ko, panganay ko, alagain. Pero, that is why, what I noticed that a lot of mothers, they feel that they are being spent, nauubos sila. Because they are taking on a role that is not supposed to be their main role. The role of spouses as a couple is for you to nurture each other, support each other, but not to have somebody to take care of you. Di ba sabi, alagaan kita. Eh, paano kung hindi ka capable na mag-alaga? Paano if at one point, one of you gets sick? So, paano kung may disbalance in the scale? So come to think of it, what is your mindset about being a couple? What is your mindset about being a parent? Being a couple, I need you to understand that. Can you say that with me? Being a couple is different from being parents. Magkaiba yung role. Kaya I observed this when I was working in schools. I used to be a full-time guidance counselor in schools in my younger days. What I noticed was, there are parents who are really, really good dad, but there are there are dads who are not good spouse. Hands up sa pagiging tatay, ang galing sa anak, pero pagdating sa marriage, well, babaksak yung grade. Okay? It's really critical. Being a couple is different from being parents. And you have to check that. That's the mindset. So, if your perception is that a family, lahat all about family, 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 you are not taking care of the marriage specifically. And you are not taking care of your parenting duties in particular. Because everything is mismatched, no boundaries. Ito yung sinasabi ko that so that's why wedding anniversaries are ideally for the couple. Yes, they can celebrate with their kids, but it's important also to celebrate with each other alone, right? So here, being Bea, yeah, Bea is my student in college. Always a delicate balance. Dedicate a time day for yourselves as a couple. Family side classes, ayan. So when you get married, you know that, right? Cabs, being a couple is different from being a parent, and that is very true. And that is the same one. You have to reframe your mindset. You have to reframe your mindset that that's how it is. And then the next one, the one is reframe your mindset. And the mindset that I'm inviting you to embrace is that being a couple is different from being a parent. So the second tip, The one is reframe. Second is recalibrate your balance. Recalibrate your balance. I talk about work-life balance, work-life harmony. It's something that I do for companies. It's something that I do for organizations and varied groups. Yes, I am open to invite. So if you have a need, just email me and then we'll see what we can do for your group. So other people, when you say balance, kailangan equal parts. Your friends, many of us are working. And how can you say that equal time dapat lagi with family, equal time with work duties, and equal time with the kids and equal time with husband? There will be no equality here. That's why you need to recalibrate your balance. What works for some families will may not work for you because you have different circumstances, we have different contexts, and more importantly, it's connected to our values. Ano yung pinakamahalaga sa atin? So, kung sa tingin nyo sa inyo as a couple, mahalaga talaga sa inyo yung couple time together, I'm sure you spend more time with that. And importante rin yung time with the kids, and then you spend more time with that. But if these are, no boundaries for you, you just put everything together all at the same time. But let me just tell you, in a balance, when you recalibrate your balance, there's no one size fits all. And there's something that I were reflected upon when I heard this when I was a young mom. There are days that you are what's the balance for me? There are days that I know that I need to be the best wife. There are days that I know I need to be a mom to my kids and to support them. There are days that I am a friend. So today, this morning, I had coffee break with my friends. Uh, I went out for good coffee with good conversations with friends, and then that's another balance. But also, I realized that there are days that I will be in this afternoon, it's all devoted to work. After this, I have consultations with my classes, and then that's it. What I mean is that each day, it's not a formula na 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. When I was younger, I thought it was like that. But I realized that maybe we can choose days. Maybe we can choose to allot something. Maybe today I am called to be so. Or maybe we can reflect, did I spend enough time with my kid today? Nagkulang ba ako today? And if you come to think of it, if that's the kind of balance that your family would embrace, and then that would be balanced. Kasi kayo yung nag-define kung ano yung balance sa inyo. But if your parameter is the parameter of other people, then it might not be applicable for you. Are we clear here, friends? So please do know that there's no perfect balance. Walang perfect balance. Walang perfect balance. Hindi yan there's no magic formula here. Hindi yan magic, hindi yan automatic na mangyayari. That's why you continuously collaborate. You continuously collaborate. Um, oh, Jeanette, I would capture your question. Uh, okay, I would capture your question on this number. Okay, so number 3, recreate your schedule. Have time as a couple and spend time as a family. Have both small moments and big moments. Pareho lang. So, recreate your schedule. Kung ito na yung nag-work sa inyo pre-pandemic, maybe it's time to revisit. So, I think last year, many families, so, ano yung family time? Eh, lahat kayo nasa bahay. So, you need to redefine and recreate family time. And, gusto ko yung tanong mo, Jeanette. What if the commitment to take care and give priority to the relationship is one-sided? Do you demand or do you just let it be? Let's just use the word. You don't demand, but you can discuss. Maybe you need to sit down with your husband and maybe you can tell him why is this important for you, and maybe allow him, give him that benefit for him to appreciate na ito yung importante sa akin. This is something that we can work on. Can I get your buy-in? How can we do this? The commitment to take care and give priority to the relationship is one-sided. If he gives lesser priority to the relationship, and then that's another issue because there might be more issues under that. Get it? The issue is not you being committed and him being less committed. The issue here is that why is he less committed? And ako, ang sasabihin ko, kung ayaw niyang maglagay ng effort sa relasyon, Ito, I tell this to friends. What if you're a solo parent? The time that you give to your spouse can be shared to the time that you give yourself and to give your kids. 'Di ba? So, meron ka pang extra. Paano kung single ka? And the more that you should take care of you. But this is one thing that I'll tell you, Jeanette. Do not, do not, do not scream on your priority for your self-growth also. Huwag mong tipirin yung priority sa self-growth mo. Kung ayaw nung partner mo, kung ayaw ng asawa mo, huwag mong tipirin yung sarili mo. Because maybe one day you will see na why are you so happy? Why are why do you seem satisfied? You just let it be. You continuously communicate. Demand at a certain point you demand, but you express the needs. I'd rather say that you articulate the needs. You articulate why is it important for you. Okay, I hope that I'm clear here. So yes, Chessie, just like self-care, couple time should be deliberate. Couple time, it's something, it's important for you kahit na 30 minutes catch up lang over wine or tea sa gabi, it's something that couples can do deliberately. So that's why you recreate your schedule kasi many would say na, but we're working from home, how can we have dates? I'll tell you a secret. My husband and I go out Wednesdays. Yesterday we were not able to go out because it's Ash Wednesday, so we skip that. But we usually go out, or we just set up something little for ourselves in the lanai, and then we just try to do something that we can work on. Um, yes, it's over coffee, maybe it's over tea, sometimes it's wine. So whatever works for us. So we go out, we try to eat out on restaurants that are not pop populated kasi it's our time to enjoy being with each other. And that is very important. So you have to recreate your schedule. Um, Others, ito yung concern. What if I'm a new mom? That's why you have to be deliberate. New moms, can I see if I have new moms here? If you are new moms, you have to realize na simulan nyo ng maayos. Huwag nyo ibuhos lahat. Ako, I really hate it when people use the reason, kasi yung baby. Don't use the baby as a reason that you are not working on your marriage, that you are not working on your couple life. Because I believe that it's an investment for your children also. Your kids will thank you if they see that mommy and daddy are working on loving each other and to be the best for us and for each other. Your kids will thank you for that. So, wag niyong tipirin yung couple time. Pag ayaw ng partner niyo, wag niyong tipirin yung effort that you give yourself. That is critical. So, you have to recreate the schedule. And for your family, recreate a schedule, small moments and big plans. Whatever it may be for you now, especially it's pandemic, if it's a small vacation, if it's just a drive around, if it's just okay, we'll eat this on we'll have this we'll order food on Friday night. You know, kids are very happy about those already. So there. Three is recreate. So the first one is reframe your mindset. That's the mindset. The second one, recalibrate your balance. Tingnan mo, ano ba yung balance sa'yo? And then the third one is recreate your schedule. Recreate a schedule. What works in the pre-pandemic, yung mga Sunday family day might not be applicable now. So please, hindi tayo aalis pa ng bahay. The kids will still be online for the next year. So you have to recreate something. Huwag niyong intayin that the conditions will be perfect. Okay? Uh, Another. Number 4, reorient yourself. Ito, I think marami ang hindi ito ginagawa. Reorient yourselves and your children. You have to teach and educate yourself and your children. It's not about choosing orient yourself na, oo nga pala, asawa ako at hindi ako laging nanay. Okay? Are you getting me there? Your role as a mom, your active parenting stage, I'll repeat this. Our active parenting stage will end when our kids are off to college or maybe off to their own work. the active parenting stage. And who will you be left with? We will be left with our spouses. That is why it's critical na kahit na minsan inis na inis tayo, kahit na minsan may bagong issue na lumalabas, but still, friends, it's very critical that we take care of the marriage and we take care of each other. We take care of it because it's not choosing one over the other. Yung iba, I hear them say na asawa na lang, wag na lang anak. No, anak na lang, wag ng asawa. Totoo yun. Kasi mas madaling magpalaki ng anak kaysa sa mag-deal with sa asawa. And then, and that's why, another one, let your kids know that mom and dad time are important. And also, it's important for me to share this. Reorient yourself and your children. Sometimes, parents are very shy to show their kids that they're intimate. Yung they hug each other, they hold hands, o kaya magkayakap sila. Friends, I would, if you're married, you would rather that your kids see you hugging and having sweet kisses and being sweet as a couple than they see it in the Korean novela or in boyfriend girlfriend na nagliligawan dyan sa kalye or yung mga videos that they are seeing. Why? Because that is the mindset that you are creating with your kids. That is your education as a parent to them, that this is how a good marriage can be. This is how good marriages are. Mom and dad take care of each other. Mom and dad, we disagree, but we are working on the relationship and we try to make things work, and then we are sweet like this because you are a couple. Hindi dapat sa iba nakikita ang example na nagliligawan. Kaya it's hard for us to talk to our kids about intimacy, about sex, about having boyfriend and girlfriend kasi hindi natin sila na pakitaan na this is how a real true marriage intimacy is. And if our kids grow up in that environment, it's different. They know that something is wrong. Their psyche will be conditioned that this is not the kind of relationship that I want. Because sa pamilya pa lang, alam natin na nakita na nila yung best example, and it's something that we can continue talking to our kids. My husband and I would hug in front of our kids, and we realized over the years that we've been doing that. Minsan mag-usap kami ng magkayakap kung hindi kami nagtatalo. But you know what? Where kids would hug us, pag nakita nila kaming magkayakap sa gitna ng sala, sa gitna ng bahay, our kids, kahit na yung my big kids would embrace us. They would squeeze themselves in the middle, and then I am just hoping that we are inculcating the right education to them. But it's something that we parents should not be inhibited because they need to pick it up from us. So are you picking me up here? So you have to orient yourself. So when you start also teaching your kids that it's mommy and daddy time, they learn to respect that boundary. But if you establish it, pero pag you allow it na nakaka-guilty sige sama na natin sila. Sige nakakaawa naman. If it's always about the guilt, if it's always about the guilt, and then it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Pag nasimulan nyo na that the guilt eats you up, it's going to be hard as they grow older until you realize you did not work on the marriage. Okay? And remember that working on your marriage is just not only about your husband or your wife or you as a couple. Working on your marriage is about parenting partnership. Para align tayo lagi. Align tayo lagi. Kasi magkaiba lagi magkaiba kayo. Isang santol, isang bayabas. Oh, American. One lemon and one apple. We come from different family trees and we have different cultures. We have different cells in the fiber of our being. And imagine bringing a family. It's raising a family with different sets of cells in it. But come to think of it, it's really partnership. It's collaborative effort. Hindi yan one-shot deal. Hindi yan isa lang. At friends, in every season of parenting, kung bago ka lang nagpapalaki, like you have babies and toddlers, that's the new parents. And if you are in the growing kid stage, that you have no grade school and high school, and if you are kids, you are a parent with kids with adolescents, meaning teenagers or almost grown up iba-iba yung needs nila and iba-iba rin yung buhay natin, yung needs natin at the time. At iba-iba rin yung way and dynamics natin as a parent to our kids. So, that the marriage evolves also. The marriage should continuously evolve. So we have to work on the marriage. It's working on you parents being the best partners for your children. Okay? So that is for reorient yourself. Kailangan turuan mo yung sarili mo na sometimes it's okay to live without your kids. Sometimes it's okay to get away without your children. That's how you balance it. And number 5, retool yourselves as a couple. What do you mean by retool yourself? So the first one is reframe, the second is recalibrate, the third is recreate, the fourth is reorient, and then the fifth one, retool yourselves as a couple. You have to check, oh, it's the pandemic, so we cannot do what we're doing before. So now, ano yung way natin to go out on date? Ano yung pwede nating mga bagay na kailangan gawin? So your work is until 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So ngayon, nasa bahay tayo nag-work pareho. So how do we go about our weekly date? So you retool yourselves and you get to know yourselves continuously by having conversations and communication also. You retool yourselves as a couple by having shared interests. Do shared interests and activities. Of course, dates are very important. That's why I love also the show of Brother Bo Sanchez and Ate Maru Sanchez called Dinner Dates. They converted date nights, and then these are real couple conversations that I follow. Because you have to find a shared interest and common activity for you and your partner. Another one, conversation and communication. Ito yung madalas na tanong, paano kung hindi yung husband ko ayaw mag-open up, yung husband ko ayaw niyang magkwento. Friends, ito na lang. Conversation is the conversations and communication. It's like breathe to life. Kung wala tayong hininga, patay na tayo. Same with communication. Communication, another theorist said that communication, it's like the grease, grasa, that smoothens the friction in the relationship. Imagine there will be no relationship if there's no communication. That is why communication and really good conversations is the fiber of the relationship. Kaya na nagtataka ako bakit yung ibang couple kinikwento nila sa lahat ng friends nila, sa lahat ng mga kumare, kumpare nila, sa lahat ng mga titas and of around them, but they don't share their issues with each other. Hindi sila nagkukuwento, ano yung burden mo? Ano yung problema mo? Kasi you're supposed to be a couple. You committed yourselves to a shared life together. And then you do that. And then it's something. That is why if you are no longer connecting and conversing like where you were as boyfriend and girlfriend, it's hard to go back and connect again. There might be something that you need to reflect on and check with the relationship. It's down for failure. I'm not saying that, but it can be a sign that you need to recalibrate. You need to retool yourselves. By retooling yourselves, what is that supposed to happen? You retool yourselves on the way you do dates, shared activities and interest, conversations and communications, and importantly, your sex life, your intimate life. Hindi, hindi our our marriages, a couple life is just not about sex life. It's not. If a marriage is just all about that, it's all about the physical needs, the urges, the needs of a man, the urges of a woman. If it's just about that, then what if problems happen? Can sex answer the issue? What if there's money and values matters that you need to deal about? Hindi nyo kilala yung isa't isa kasi there's no conversation to hold you together. There's no shared interest kasi it's just all about, the interest is just all about sex. But sex should be the connection that you cannot communicate in an, it's supposed to be the culmination of the marriage. Hindi ba? It's about expressing your love in a way that you cannot express verbally, and so you express it in that form. It's the totality. It's the totality of the intimate connection. So if it's just all about urge and it's all about just madaos lang yung kailangan, it's just like what the dogs and the animals have. But it's not about love, it's just about lust. So you have to check where you are. Even married couples have lust. Even married couples just resort to sex when they're not feeling okay. And that's just about sex, but it's not about the marital union. Get it? Magkaiba siya. It's not about the deeper intimacy. It's not about sexual intimacy, but it's just about sex as an activity. Magkaiba siya. So there you go. These are the things that you need to do. Solutions, you have to reframe, you have to recalibrate, recreate, reorient, and retool. And I would go to one question. Two questions that was posted the other day. What should moms do if they lose themselves along the way? Iyan ang isa sa mga tanong. I think marami bang nakaka-relate dito? Ano ang dapat gawin if mothers lose themselves along the way? Can you relate? If mothers lose themselves along the way, and it's critical for mothers to get themselves together. Why? You check. Pag tinanggal mo yung role mo as a mother, kilalanin mo ulit sino ka. If you lose yourselves along the way and you notice that you have lost yourself along the way, it's a good signal that you need help. Come back and watch Coffee Break. We have so many resources for you. Hanapin mo ulit yung sarili mo. Find who you are before you were a mom. Hanapin mo yung mga deepest longings mo that you long to do before you became a mother. Sino ako? Balikan mo siya. Because those dreams, those interests, those talents, andyan lang naman sa atin. They're just like stagnant, or they're just like frozen, or there's just like shoved to the back of our psyche, but we were just never able to access it because life gets to us. Motherhood, we thought that motherhood, it's all about that. And how can we find ourselves again? Well, you have to slowly check who you are. I cannot answer you no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's another session altogether. But I would like to ask you, how do you find yourselves again? Start with what you have now. Start checking your strengths, your weakness, your interests. Kilalanin mo sino ka when you were before you met your boyfriend. Kilalanin mo kung sino ka before you when you get married. Alamin mo yung interest mo when you started becoming a mother. Makikita mo sa movements ng buhay mo kung sino ka. You have to start somewhere. You sit down and plot it down. This is something that I would like to do, and hopefully you pray for me this year that I can come up with a program on finding ourselves. And when we start asking finding ourselves, that's really our middle of life inventory. I-shorten natin, that's really a midlife inventory. And I hope to do a midlife inventory soon this year. Let's hope for that. So what should we do if we lose ourselves along the way? Find yourselves again. Read books, look for mentors, look for solid information. You may do this, but the best textbook and reference all about you. It's all yourself. It's just sitting down and journeying with yourself, not denying your emotions, not denying your needs, uh, not denying your not denying your gifts, not denying your longings. Kilalanin mo, JP, kung sino ka ulit. I am praying that you will be well. You will be well, and you will find yourselves again. Okay. There's another comment, nakakababa ng self-esteem dahil no career and hands-on mom. Who among you can relate to that? But I'm gonna tell you, friends, if we are a hands-on mom, please, that's a career in itself. That is your career, and you chose that. It's a choice. Maybe nakakababa ng self-esteem. Hanapin mo, baka naman all your eggs are put in your parenting basket. You put all who you are in being a parent. You put all the badges as a mom, hands-on mom, ako gumagawa ng lahat, ako yung nagluluto, ako yung nagkaplano ng menu, akong gumagawa ng lahat. Others' badges are all about being a mother. They like it that they do that. Kaya yung iba takot mag-let go because they might find I am empty inside. Kasi it's all about other people but I'm losing myself in the process. So others batch, they thought na pamartir na parang ay ako talaga lahat, hands-on talaga ako. Walang masama do'n. I was a hands-on mom. But friends, let's not frown at people who have career because other career women are hands-on mom. Kanya-kanya tayo ng priorities, kanya-kanya rin tayo ng, kanya-kanya rin tayo ng diskarte. Nakakababa ng self-esteem dahil no career and hands-on. I hope that this is something that you can retool yourself and check where is your self-worth anchored. I think I have a session on self-esteem or self-worth. So check where is your career, check where is your self-esteem anchored. It might be anchored only in your parenting. So you have to get to know yourself again. Okay? So that's why I need to discuss this with you because I hope that mothers we find who we are despite having a family because our kids would be very very happy if they know that we have our own voice. They know that we are our own person and then take care of that. We have to take care of that person because our kids, even if we love them so much, and even if we love our spouse so much, we can only save ourselves. Kasi honestly, mawawala din naman sila. They will have a life of their own. And our husband, kahit na mahal-mahal natin siya, ay, hindi ako siya. So, I was with two moms this morning when I had my coffee break. And we were just talking about career, we're just talking about our lives, we're talking about ourselves. And I realized that many women like me and my age, we are in the same boat that we are really establishing who we are, but we are trying not to be in the mold na kung anong gusto ng asawa lang, ito lang. Kung ano yung gusto ng anak mo, ayaw mo pagkupit. Kung anong gusto ng boyfriend mo, or anong gusto ng ibang tao para sa'yo. We are at that age that we are seeking and establishing recalibrating who we are. And that is really good. It may not sound good. It may not look good to other people because they're not used to us having a different look, doing something else. Kasi nasanay sila sa rhythm and routine natin. But it's good to revisit. It's good to revisit who you are. It's good to take care and connect with that person whom you might be taking for granted. It's not gonna be a balanced life. The title of this episode is Balancing Marriage and Parenting. But friends, I would like you to check here. Imagine if you're gonna balance marriage and parenting, the basic foundation of this is actually your relationship with yourself. As I said, I would end this with the formula that I said. A good marriage is established because there are two individuals. So, before we are a couple, we are a self. And we hope that we are working on that solid sense of self. And then that becomes the person that will join another person. So that becomes a couple. And before we are a parent, we are a couple. So the formula here is self and your relationship with God, and then the couple relationship, because that will be the foundation for our relationship with our kids and our parenting and other things that we need. If the formula is turned, inuna ang anak, and then asawa ang sarili. Tanggalin ang anak, tanggalin ang asawa, question mark, sino ka? Pag nagka-problema sa anak, nagka-problema sa asawa, paano ka? Are you getting me? Baligtarin naman natin, puro asawa, hindi inisip ang sarili, hindi inisip ang anak. What if the marriage failed? Paano ka? Pero pag inayos natin yung sarili natin, we take care of that person inside us and our relationship with our God, with the Lord, and then nothing is impossible. We It says in the Bible, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Diba? Yun pa rin siya. It's the formula because the basic foundation of who we are is really that we are God's beloved. And so we can be the best spouse to complement our spouse because we can create a good marriage because we are ourselves, and we can be the best parents if we are a good couple. That is the main message. So before there's an us, before there is a marriage, there is you. But before there is a and before you have kids, there is a marriage. So the formula priority, you and God, the marriage and the kids. Kung wala kayong asawa, mas madali ang formula. But friends, it's not gonna be working well kung guguluhin natin ang formula. Because as I said, one of the best things that we can give our kids is a happy marriage. But one of the best things that you can give your marriage is a is a happy, is a whole, and a fulfilling you. There should always be you. And that's what Coffee Break is all about this afternoon. I'll see you again next week. This is Dr. Michelle Alignay. Don't forget to follow this Michelle Alignay page, or this is also running in YouTube. And also, for those of you who would just listen while working. These podcasts are available in Spotify. Thank you and God bless you, everyone.